Hello, this is Jerry Zremski from the Buffalo News Washington Bureau. I'm coming to you again here with my weekly summary of what we can expect in terms of the news from the nation's capital and why it matters to Buffalo. And I have to tell you that for the first couple of days this week, things are looking fairly quiet, and I'll be working on some longer-term stories that I'll be talking to you about in the coming weeks. But the news really does pick up on Wednesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are particularly busy. It all starts at 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning when the House Transportation Committee holds a hearing on aviation safety. Of course, any hearing on aviation safety will deal with the crash of Continental Flight 3407 in Clarence 3 years ago. And as usual, the families of Flight 3407 will be here on Wednesday for this hearing to hear what's said. And what I'm expecting to hear is an update on where things stand in terms of the aviation safety legislation that Congress passed 2 years ago and the new rules that are stemming from that are in process, many of them, over at the Federal Aviation Administration. So I'll be there at that hearing on Wednesday morning, and I expect to do a good story about that. And then later on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing another story about something that's a little different than what I've been writing about lately, and that is the Oklahoma City bombing back in 1995. You may ask, why are we interested now, 17 years after the bombing? But we're always interested because, of course, Timothy McVeigh, who was convicted and later executed for his role in that bombing, was from the Buffalo area. And what's new about this now is that there's a new book out about the bombing and the investigation of the bombing, which really takes a look at whether the investigation went far enough and what that could mean for further investigations on further incidents of this type, were they, God forbid, ever to occur. So it sounds to me like the book is very interesting, and the author will be here discussing this book at an event at the New America Foundation on Wednesday, so I will be there for that. Then on Thursday, I'm turning my attention back to the Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station and the future of the Air National Guard unit there. There's a subcommittee of the House Armed Services Committee that will be holding a hearing on the Pentagon budget for 2013. And it's very possible that the subcommittee will be adjusting somehow the Pentagon's proposals for National Guard cuts nationwide. If that's the case, obviously that's a big story for us because it would have a direct impact on Niagara Falls. Now, it's also possible, though, that the subcommittee won't deal with this issue and will simply kick it up to the full committee. This sometimes happens when issues like this cross subcommittee jurisdictions, as this one does. So we just don't know at this point whether this hearing is going to be very newsy or not, but I'll be checking it out in the middle of the week and on Thursday to find out how important it is in terms of the future of the Air National Guard unit at Niagara Falls. Then on Thursday afternoon, I'm going to be turning my attention to an issue that all of you care about, I'm sure, and that is gasoline prices. The Congressional Joint Economic Committee is going to be having a hearing on refining capacity in the Northeast, which is on target to decline and which could have some serious impacts on people all through the Northeast in terms of what they pay for fuel. This is an issue we haven't written much about yet, this issue of the declining refining capacity. So I think going to this hearing will be a good way for me to do a comprehensive report on what this issue really is and why it matters to you in Buffalo, to all drivers in Buffalo, and really all across the Northeast. So that's the way the week is shaping up for me. I have to tell you, I'm actually off on Friday and I'll be on vacation next week, so I won't be here for an update next week, but I do hope you'll join me for my update 2 weeks from now, and I hope you'll be reading my stories and the rest of the Buffalo News in the meantime. Thanks for watching, and have a good week.